The Shawshank Redemption is one of the greatest films ever made, beloved by audiences around the world. But behind this classic lies a treasure chest of bizarre, surprising, and downright weird facts that most fans don't know. From real-life prison stories to odd casting choices and even strange behind-the-scenes mishaps, the making of this film was almost as fascinating as the movie itself. So, let's dive deep into weird facts about the Shawshank Redemption that will blow your mind. The prison was almost demolished. The Shawshank Redemption was filmed at the Ohio State Reformatory, a massive and eerie structure in Mansfield, Ohio. Here's the weird part. The prison was actually scheduled to be demolished before filming began. The production team stepped in just in time, saving the old prison long enough to capture its haunting atmosphere on screen. Today, the prison is a major tourist attraction for fans, who can even take ghost tours. Without the filmmakers' intervention, we might never have had the iconic setting that gave Shawshank its unforgettable look and feel. The crawling scene was truly disgusting. One of the most unforgettable moments in Shawshank Redemption is when Andy Dufresne crawls through a 500-yard-long sewage pipe. But in reality, Tim Robbins didn't crawl through real sewage. Instead, the filmmakers filled the pipe with a mixture of chocolate syrup, mud, and sawdust. Even so, the stench was reportedly awful, and Robbins had to endure it during filming. The commitment he showed made the scene so realistic, audiences could almost smell it. It's strange to think one of the film's most powerful scenes came from something that looked and smelled absolutely gross in real life. Morgan Freeman's long recording day. Remember Red's iconic narration that guides the story? Well, Morgan Freeman recorded his narration in just one single day. However, because of his dedication to perfection, Freeman sat in the booth for nearly 9 straight hours. Weirdly enough, even after that marathon session, many parts had to be re-recorded later because of background noise issues. The patience and voice control required were remarkable. Freeman's calm and soulful narration became one of the most recognizable and important elements of the film, but it came at the cost of one very long and tiring day. The film was a box office flop. It's hard to believe today, but The Shawshank Redemption wasn't a big hit when it was released in 1994. In fact, it actually flopped at the box office, earning far less than expected. The weird reason? Many blamed the strange title, which didn't attract casual moviegoers. Others thought it was overshadowed by bigger films like Pulp Fiction and Forrest Gump. Only later, thanks to home video rentals and television replays, did Shawshank become a global phenomenon. It's bizarre to think that a film now considered the greatest of all time was once ignored in theaters. A real maggot feeding was approved by the Humane Society. There's a strange moment where Brooks, the prison librarian, feeds a maggot to his pet bird, Jake. Normally, animal cruelty rules forbid feeding live creatures on film, but in this case, the filmmakers got official approval from the Humane Society. Why? Because the maggot was already going to die naturally, so feeding it to the bird was deemed acceptable. This weird exception allowed the scene to be filmed, and it became one of the many small details that made Shawshank Redemption so realistic, even if it was a little unsettling to watch. Tom Hanks almost played Andy Dufresne. It's hard to imagine anyone other than Tim Robbins playing Andy Dufresne, but originally, Tom Hanks was offered the role. Weirdly enough, Hanks turned it down because he was committed to filming Forrest Gump at the same time. Of course, Forrest Gump went on to win multiple Oscars, and Shawshank Redemption became legendary in its own right. This strange twist of fate meant both movies ended up with perfect casting. But it's fascinating to think how different Shawshank might have been if Hanks had accepted the role instead. Morgan Freeman's son appears in the movie. Here's a fun and weird detail. Morgan Freeman's son, Alfonso Freeman, actually appears in Shawshank Redemption in 2 small cameo roles. He can be spotted as a prison inmate yelling, "Fresh fish," when new prisoners arrive. He also shows up in another minor background role. This little Easter egg connects Freeman's family directly to the film. Many fans didn't realize it at first, but once you know to look for him, you can easily spot Alfonso. It's a quirky, behind-the-scenes fact that makes the movie even more special for Freeman and his family. The chess set was made from prison materials. Throughout the movie, Andy Dufresne works on a stone chess set while in prison. What many viewers don't know is that the chess pieces were actually crafted from real prison materials, using rocks from the prison yard. Tim Robbins himself practiced carving the stones to make the scenes feel authentic. This weird dedication to detail gave Andy's hobby a sense of realism that reflected his patience and resilience. It wasn't just a movie prop. It was a symbol of Andy's creativity and determination to survive the harsh prison environment. The oak tree was a real landmark. The oak tree where Red finds Andy's note is one of the most iconic images in Shawshank Redemption. Strangely, that tree wasn't just a random movie prop. It was a real, massive oak located in Ohio and became a beloved tourist attraction for fans of the film. However, years later, the tree was badly damaged by a storm and eventually had to be cut down. It's weird to think that a simple tree played such a powerful role in the story and later became almost as famous as the movie itself. It became IMDb's one movie of all time. Here's the weirdest fact of all. Despite its rocky start, The Shawshank Redemption now holds the #1 spot on IMDb's list of the greatest films ever made, beating classics like The Godfather. It's fascinating how a movie that failed in theaters grew into the most respected and beloved film of all time. The journey from underdog flop to global favorite mirrors Andy Dufresne's own story of hope and perseverance. Shawshank's rise to glory is proof that sometimes the most powerful stories take time to earn their rightful place in history.